Welcome back, everybody, to Amuse Goose. There's Kim. She's waving at you. You better wave back. Hi. We're going to talk about our pets and how my
love
pets
our pets
are better than your pets.
I don't know.
Specifically, Kim's pets.
I mean,
I have some pretty cool cats.
yeah, I also have some pretty cool cats.
Cats?
I do. I have 2 cats. You have more cats than I do.
Yeah, but 3's too many.
Really?
That's a lot of litter.
Like, 2 is no more than 1. Like, if you're going to have 1 cat, you might as well have 2 cats.
Yes.
I feel.
3 is too many. 3 is a crowd.
Do you think?
Yes. So
interesting.
growing up, we grew up with cats. I like dogs. I like cats. You know, I like pets. Dogs are great. For me, they're too much work. For what you get,
I have a really lazy dog.
You got to take it for walks. You got to.
She doesn't like. My dog doesn't like walks.
It should like walks.
She should like walks, but she doesn't.
It's just
lazy.
They're more work. Like you got to go outside and pick up its poop.
Work, yeah.
I love the argument of like crazed dog owners that hate cats for no real reason outside. Like cats are scratchy. They're mean. Their whole like, well, you have to pick their litter out of a box. It's like you have to go out in your yard and pick their poo up with like your hand in a bag. If you have like one of those scoopers, now you have, you know, it's the same thing. But now you're hunting.
It is the same thing. Yeah.
And they're like, well, my dog poops in the corner. It's like great. You know where my cat poops? In the litter box. And they're like, well, they stink. It's like, only if you don't clean it. If you clean it, it doesn't smell. Like, it'll have a litter smell. It can.
Yeah. Depending on the brand of litter and all that jazz. But I would live on a petting. I would live at a petting zoo. I would have every animal. Don't even care. I would have all the animals. I have had lots of animals. I mean, right now I have the 2 cats. I have Cleo is 13. Pixel is 9. My dog Ella is 4. And I have a 10-year-old purebred Netherland dwarf rabbit who won't die. I think he's like 11, Zeke.
How long are they supposed to live?
Like friggin' 8 to 10 years.
Oh, so you're at like probably.
Yeah. Like he must be 11. He's the same age as my oldest son, so he's 11.
Oh, okay.
He's I've had hamsters. I've had birds. I've had chickens.
What'd you think of birds? What kind of birds?
Like budgies. They were super, super. Yeah, I had budgies, little blue guys.
And they just chatterboxes.
We had 2. The first one, Missy, she was only chatty at like certain times of the day.
Okay.
Like it was mostly from like noon till like 4 p.m.
When she was remembering her family.
Yeah, and she was
having like a mental breakdown.
And she was pretty chill. And then we had Jake, and he was very quiet. Like
Is that a bird too?
Yeah, he was a budgie. He was super, super quiet. Yeah.
Super depressed.
Yeah, probably.
Just living in a cage. You ever let them out of the cage and let them just fly around your house? Oh, that's nice then. At least you did that.
Yep.
It's like those people that have birds and like they don't leave like their little.
You're supposed to let them out, like just like any other animal. You're supposed to let them out for like exercise to, at least an hour or so a day. So we definitely like Missy was a really really nice, like very friendly bird. So she would like hang out on your shoulder for hours. Like we'd let her out if we were home. We would let her out
home, lady,
for a while.
Take me home. I don't like it here.
My mom would put on lipstick and like would go, give me a kiss, and she would like sit on mom's shoulder and like kiss her with the lipstick. So she'd have like lipstick on her beak, and she was like a really sweet girl.
Just like maybe if I suck up to them, they'll let me leave.
Jake was very shy, but he was a nice bird. And then I had hamsters.
Mm-hmm. I don't like hamsters. I think they're dumb. Dumb
They
little
were
animal.
harder. They were harder because it's just they're dirtier, right? You got to
Yeah.
change their
And they can be
their
nasty with their little
cage.
stupid teeth and their little bites that they potentially get.
Yeah,
in.
mine used to bite. Kate's was nice,
It's almost like it's
but
a rodent or something. It's weird.
you and they're awake all night.
Yeah. My brother had one when I was a kid, and it got out of the little enclosure thing.
Yes, that
And
was
then
the worst. They always escaped.
It found its way into the wall and died. We didn't know where. We could not find it. It was in behind the drywall.
Yeah.
And then, like, we could just, like, smell, like, rot.
Mm-hmm.
And my stepdad, I think, was the one who kind of, like, sniffed it out and then, like,
Yeah.
took the drywall off.
Well,
Because it was, like, partially unfinished, partially finished
Right.
kind of thing. So he found its way in behind and, like, kind of made, like, his little...
mm-hmm.
And then just breathed in a bunch of fiberglass insulation and died.
That was it. That was it. Kate, she had one, and he used to escape. It was a girl, used to escape all the time, and we used to put a brick on top of the cage
Oh,
because it would like get itself underneath, like between the bottom plastic part and then the metal cage, and so we put a brick on it, and then when it finally died. My sister was like, "It's just sleeping. Cuddles is sleeping." It was.
man.
My dad went in to check on it, and it was solid. And it was in the middle of winter,
Yeah.
so like Kate was like, "Well, we have to bury it," and so my dad was like, "Well, we can't because it's wintertime, but we'll cremate him."
Okay.
And do you know what he did?
No.
He took the hamster to the dump with the garbage. And told my sister that he
Just
cremated the
threw it in the
hamster.
bag?
Just throw it in the garbage. Throw
What
it
did
in
he
the
do
dump.
for, like, the ash? Did he say, like, hey, here's...
No, he didn't bring any back. She was young. She was young enough that she would not have realized that, like, if you cremate something, she was like, okay.
Just like, hey, that works for me.
Yeah.
That's funny. Sad.
We once had a cat die in the middle of winter, and we had him in the freezer for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Like months. He was in the freezer for months. We forgot about him until
Like in one
my
of those
brother.
big, like, chest freezers?
Well, my in-laws had a great big chest freezer. We didn't at the time. This was when my oldest was only a baby. And we didn't have we only had the fridge freezer. And they said, well, we'll put him in our freezer. It was it was probably like February or something like that. So they said, we'll put him in our freezer when the ground thaws. We'll bury him.
Yeah.
Well, we forgot about him. And then my brother and sister-in-law were still living at home at the time. And my sister-in-law would not go into the freezer, like, to get hamburgers or any meat. Like, she wouldn't go in the freezer the whole time the cat was in the freezer. And then one day my brother-in-law texted my husband and was like, dude, you got to do something about freezer cat. And this was probably in like August.
Freezer cat.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So anyway,
That's too funny.
we brought him up to the camp and we buried him up there. But like, yeah, he was in the freezer for months.
Unreal. What was your first pet you had? What was the first one you had that you remember?
First one was Missy, the budgie.
Oh, okay. Started off with a bird?
Yeah.
How old
Started
were you?
off with a bird. I was in elementary school.
Elementary.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was quite little.
Missy. Where'd Missy come from? Did you name it?
Missy was my dad's best friend at the time, had her, and he got married, and his new wife didn't want a bird.
Are they still together?
Yep.
Oh.
I just saw him Saturday, actually.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
if
So,
they
anyway.
weren't still together, then could have had Missy
No.
this whole time.
Yeah, she didn't want Missy, and Missy, I like Missy better than I like her.
Well,
Don't tell her I said that.
Out to the world now.
I didn't get my first cat. I remember when we got our first cat, Molly, I was in middle school, and that night I remember talking on the phone to you.
Oh.
And
I don't
a
remember.
mutual friend, Nick Levine.
Hey, Nick.
He was at your house,
Yeah.
and you guys called me.
Uh-huh.
Must have been a Friday night, and you guys called me, and I was talking about having this new kitten, and I can't remember what you guys were doing. He was over there sleeping at your house. He was
Video
having a
games,
sleepover at
guaranteed.
your house
Video games.
and playing video games. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you guys called me to see what I was doing. I was like, I'm playing with my cat.
He was such a good friend growing up.
He was a great guy. Yeah.
He was one of my best buds. And then just age, got older, grew apart, different schools and all that stuff. But growing up, it was him and a couple other guys and like just quality dudes. I hope he's doing good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard anything about him lately. But
No, I have him on Facebook.
Completely-
I'll have to reach out.
completely lost contact over the years.
Mm.
But yeah, I hope he's doing
I'll
well.
say Nate's sad that you hate him now.
I think we
That's what
used
I'm
to have
gonna
each
tell
other on Facebook.
That's what
or
I'll lead
something.
with.
I'm gonna get rid of Facebook. I hate it.
I don't like it, but it's a
You use it
lot
for
of
work. All the old people use it.
oh, see, I use it because a lot of like family from away like to see they want to see my kids like
That's why I had it, but I just send that stuff to my mom because I don't use it. I don't use Facebook anymore. Like,
no, you're very
Ellie-
rarely on it.
Ellie will send me something. So, like, if you ever see
Ellie's
like
on it
an
more than you
update, it's because someone tagged me in it, and I hit add to profile.
You shared
That's my thing.
Yeah, I tagged you in something because I shared the podcast on my Facebook.
Yeah. So, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That will, I'll be like, oh, I got a notification. Go in. Okay. Add to profile. Add to or timeline, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And like now it's full of bots too. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Like I tried to like, because I think you tagged me in something, and then I was going through it. I'm like, holy crap! And like AI images. The one thing that popped up, and I don't know if this is like normal or if it's just whatever, but it was like, it's my birthday, you know, and it's like these like really sad photos of like people like sitting with their family or whatever. It's clearly AI generated.
That's so weird.
And people are commenting, happy birthday. Oh, it's, you know, whatever. But then like even the replies look like bot replies. I'm like,
Oh, they probably are. Yeah.
what is going on here? Like, what is happening? Anyways, let's talk about things that we do like our pets.
Like pets.
you're-
What was your first pet?
Yours was a bird. Mine was, as far as I know, it was cat. Like I grew up with cats.
I remember your cat Trisha.
Yeah. Named after my babysitter at the time. I think it was
That's so cute.
4.
Yeah.
And like, what are you going to name the cat? I don't know. I'm 4. Like,
Was that your first pet?
I was me personally, that was my cat.
Okay. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, because I grew up with my brother and he had his cat. I think his first cat was Rufus. It was like an
That's cute,
orange
too.
tabby. I don't remember too much about him because I was really little. But like I can kind of see him. Like if I think. He ran away. He used to, like, they're indoor, outdoor cats. Like, growing up in the country. This is what we did. And then mine was Trisha. And then we had a cat named Smokey. That was my stepdad, the jerk-off's cat. And he had, like, a little white tuft of
No.
fur right here, but he was, like, black. And he had, like, a little thing. I think he had, like, some grays kind of, like, speckled throughout him. But
Yeah.
so we had those cats. And then I don't think I had, like, any other cats. Because Rufus ran away. He died at some point. Probably coyote got him or something. I don't know. Smokey, don't know what happened to him. Again, very little, so a lot of these I don't really remember too much.
Yeah.
I just remember that Trisha was the constant. Like, I had her since I was a kid. And up until I was, like, 18, we moved into the city. And my mom's friend was helping us move, and it was an indoor-outdoor cat, and we were moving into the city. It was just, like, kind of forcing her to be an indoor
Trisha.
cat. And
Yeah.
my mom's friend left the door open, like, just left it open. And she got out, and we could not find her. Like, we looked and looked and looked, and we could not find her. So she was very old. Like, she was, like, I think she was over 18 at that point.
Right.
18. maybe not 18. Doesn't matter. She was old.
Yeah.
She was an old cat.
She was an old girl, yeah.
So that was heartbreaking because she was
That was your girl.
my girl. But even while we had her, we ended up having 2 other cats. My mom brought home like a tortoiseshell cat.
That's
Taffy.
what my I remember that cat. That cat's
she was
name too.
nasty. And
I have a tortoiseshell cat named Pixel, and she's also nasty to everyone but me.
yeah, like she was nasty to everyone. But we found out that she had an oversized uterus, like it was swollen. So
so she was just hurting.
she was, but she was still nasty afterwards. And then there was another cat when the place I used to go to football practice. They had like these wooden stairs that you would go down to. Mm-hmm. And we were going down, and this tiny little kitten
Baby.
came out from underneath the steps, and we're like, what the heck? Where'd this cat come from? And it's just tiny, like just a little, like coming right towards us, like, hey, hey, hey. It's like, the videos you see on TikTok where like, I've been chosen. That was us, but I'm like, okay, well, I can't just take a cat home.
Yes, you can.
I looked everywhere for the mom, whatever, couldn't find it, so I put her back underneath the step, and I'm like, okay, well, if you're here tomorrow, then I guess I'll take you
You're my
home.
cat.
Yeah, and sure enough, practice the next day, cat came out. So I already told my mom that like the previous night, and when she came to pick me up, I said, there you go. And I'm just holding the cat, like I got her. So it was Trisha, Taffy, because I'm like, well, we got Tease. And then I'm like, and Trina. I think my mom kind of came up with some of that. And then I just, it sounds good. So the 3 T's. And now we have Tommy.
Tommy!
Yeah, so we kept like the T's going. I don't know where Tommy came from. I think Haley named him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, oh, yeah, he's around. So.
How old is Tommy now? Because he's getting
9, 10.
Okay, so he's closer to Pixel's age because I have a 13-year-old. My oldest cat will be 14 in May.
Are they still very much kitten-like? He is very much a kitten still.
Yeah.
The way he plays, like, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, watching him play, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Seeing him, but I don't know.
So my dog now that I got when we mentioned in the last episode she was a Texas rescue. Her name's Ella, and she's a terrier mix, and I got her because she reminded me of, do you remember the 90s show Wishbone?
What's the story, Wishbone?
She looked exactly like Wishbone.
That's fun.
So I was like, I need to have that dog. She's my first
sold.
She's my first dog. I never had a dog until her. And I think she's a good intro dog because she's real lazy.
Yeah, you're saying like super, super lazy.
She's so chill. And she's a terrier. Like she's part weird. She looks really Jack Russell and like a wire terrier, but she's like, she does not have that terrier energy. Like you're like, Ella, you want to go for a long walk? And she's like, I'd rather not.
No, that's dumb, mother.
That sounds horrible.
Well, you know who I am.
You walk her around the block. You walk her around the block, and she'll like sit down and will not want to go any further.
She's like, I've done this. I lived on the side of a road in Texas. Okay.
Yeah, she's like,
you don't know what walking
up
is.
And down. So we have a fenced-in backyard, which is fantastic. So like, I just let her out, and she just lays on the deck in the sun. And she's just so chill. Except for lately, she's been able to, like, now that the ground is really soft, she digs under the fence and she has escaped. My aunt lives directly across the street from me and sent me a video of her Ring doorbell, her back deck. And she's like, I think there's something like off here. And she sent me a video of Ella laying in the sun on her back deck across the street. So she'll go to my house or there because she knows that my aunt will like give her a treat and bring her home. Like she knows.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, she'll escape, but then she won't go far. And then if you just open the door and you're like, Ella, come get a treat, and she'll be like right there.
Right there. You know, it's like that
She
was.
she
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
she just wants to get out. She just wants to be. She wants to do it because she can.
Yeah. Well, she was kind of like an outdoor dog before, and like kind of did her own thing, right?
Yeah.
That was like our cat Trisha, like being an indoor outdoor cat, like. Just growing up with the cat, like that's just what we did, right?
Yeah.
Grew in the country. They were indoor, outdoor cats, whatever. But you'd let her out, you know, she'd be there, and like you'd let her in at night. But that was the thing, like dusk, you know, around supper time, or if it was like getting into winter to colder months, you know, it starts to get dark. You call it, but you could just like yell her name.
Yeah.
Hey.
Or shake the bag.
Shake the bag of treats. But it would just like. So we lived in this old farmhouse for a time, and there's like longer grasses like off the driveway.
Yeah.
And so all you'd see is like this cat
just
jumping through, right? Or you just see the grass like parting as like she finds her way out, and she'd be there like all the time. Like she'd just come when you called her. And you didn't always have to shake a treat bag or, you know, wasn't that food motivated. I could get that cat though to sick. Like, I could get her to sick the other cats, like, to get her to, like, attack them. Yeah. So I'd be like, go get them. And she'd, like, get down. You know, they do a little butt wiggle and, like, sick them. And she'd get, like, all, like, hunched over. Like, go get them. And, like, I'd, like, tap, like, right by her tail, like, on her butt. And she'd, like a dart, take off. And the other cats would hear me. Like, eventually they learned what was going on. Yeah. Because she would take off after the other cats and grab them and do like that bunny kick to them.
Yep.
And just
the
pummel
back
them.
feet.
Oh, it was so funny to watch. She'd play tag, which was a lot of fun. So you'd come home from school, my mom would be playing tag with her at some point, and like actual tag, like you tag her and run, and she will run after you and bap you. No claws, she had claws, but she'd hit you just with the paw.
She'd do the bap.
Gone. And then you go get her, and then it was just back and forth. I came home from school one day, walking up the stairs, and there was like a landing, like a half wall, and my mom would have like plants on it, and the cat would jump up on that landing and, you know, like bask in the sun or just kind of hang out. And all I felt was like this smack on the side of my head. I'm like, what the heck? And it was her, and she was gone. And my mom was just like in tears. She was just laughing. She thought it was the funniest thing because I had no idea. I just came home from school. I didn't know they were playing. I just got smacked in the side of the head from a cat that I didn't even know was there.
We had a cat, Lola. I don't know how old I was. I think I was in high school when we got her, and she would do that. Like we had stairs that would be like there's like stairs to go up one level and then turn, and then stairs to go up another level. And she would sit on the top level and smack you, like with no claws. She would give you the bap when you were going up the stairs. And she was higher up than you. So she just, everybody, she would just, oh my God. And my dad's always like, I hate cats.
Yeah.
And like, for a guy who hates pets, like we had so many pets. But yeah, so he would always be like, I hate that cat. And then one day he didn't realize I was home or something like that. And I caught him like sneaking up on the cat and like.
Got him.
Anyway, and he was like, "Oh, fuck cat."
I never liked that kid. Oh man. Okay, so we talked about
all our cats.
Cats, lots of cats. We both have cats. You had any other interesting pets?
So I had chickens for a while.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, raccoons got the whole flock.
See, I didn't know that. When you told me that raccoons got them, I did not know. I don't know that much about raccoons living.
They're nasty.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they would eat chickens.
Yeah, the whole thing. All that was left was a rib cage.
Can you imagine being a chicken stuck in that coop? And there's just big old fat jerk just because he's overfed because he lives in a neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I live in a subdivision.
Fat ass coming through the chicken fence. And he's just like, now it's time to die. I'm going to eat.
And we locked our chickens in. So we had like a swing, like a locking, like 2x4 there that we'd slide. They got through that. Then I did a hook and eye and latch. They got through those. They're so smart.
I think it was an inside job.
Probably.
Murder, death, kill.
And I think they go in for the eggs.
Yeah.
Initially, they want to steal the eggs.
That's an easy
And then
meal, I guess, right?
they're like, chicken tastes great. And they're not wrong.
It's pretty good.
But they took out my whole flock. I had 6 chickens.
Yeah, that would be really upsetting.
And they laid an egg a day. Like my husband and kids eat, like, between the 3 of them, they eat 4 eggs a day. My husband eats 2 in the morning, and each kid eats 1 egg. And like my boys are starting to eat 2 eggs every morning.
It's a lot of
so
eggs.
6 eggs a morning, like, we saved a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the chickens. We raised them from chicks. They're only $2 a friggin' chicken.
Yeah.
Right? So that's like, $12. Feed is cheap.
Yep. You got to
so
clean time mostly after that, right?
It breaks down, like you put sawdust, sort of like a sawdust down.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks down over time, and you just kind of rake it around and then put fresh over top. Like,
okay.
There's really not
like a dirt ground. Oh, okay. But then you got to build the
coop.
So that costs money.
Yeah. Well, we just used when we bought the house, there were 2 baby barns.
Oh.
And
so
we just converted one of
recycled, reused.
Yeah, we just because we were only using one, and we just made the other one into the chicken coop, and it was perfect. So, they're really not as much maintenance as you would think.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
I don't think we're allowed to have them here.
They were less work than like the rabbit and like hamsters.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they're way easier because you don't even have to go out there every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, a couple days.
You should go out to get the eggs and stuff like that. But
happens if you go on vacation. You need someone to.
My parents, like, when we would go away for the weekend, my parents would come over.
That is nice to have something like that.
And just make sure that they had water or whatever.
Yeah.
And make sure, like, collect the eggs and bring them in. Well, it was actually my parents who found the carnage.
The massacre.
Yeah. My mom went into the backyard and through the fence, saw feathers everywhere, and was like, nope, right out of there. Made my dad go in.
She knew.
She knew. She was like, I
ain't seeing
my
that.
dad.
Yeah.
So we actually had 2 flocks of chickens. What happened to the first one? The first ones, it was getting to be wintertime. So, and my dad had a friend that he had worked with who owned a hobby farm. And there were 4 left, and they were old. They stopped laying. So we took them up to the farm, and they lived out their retirement there, or they butchered them. I don't know, but they were alive when I left. So
made their way to Schulten's.
And then it was our second flock that was the raccoons. But my dad has been a chicken disposal guy multiple times.
The cleaner.
Oh, the poor guy.
Oh man, that is.
Yeah,
I've had chickens are pretty cool. Fish.
Yeah, they were awesome. They were awesome. Fish were more worked than they were worth. I mean, they were really. I enjoyed sitting and watching them swim around, but they were a lot of work. I had crabs one time.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you got that cleared up.
Oh yeah.
What kind of crabs are they? What kind of
little
pet crabs would you have?
Little Oh, I can't remember. They weren't hermit crabs, but they looked like the crabs. Like the pinkish crabs at the beach.
Oh,
they look like those, but tiny.
Oh, I didn't know.
They're little tiny ones. Yeah, they were really cool, but they would like easily get out of the fish tank, and I'd always find them like on top of the tank. Like I'd come in my room, and
crabs everywhere.
Yeah, there'd be crabs sitting on top because they can't really they don't go far.
Yeah.
But my best friend, one of my best friends, Josh, he's like really, really into fish, and he was the one who was like, "Oh, they're so cool." And anyway, his name was Pinchy, and mine was Sebastian.
Reminds me of this girl when I was growing up that our cat, I think it was Trisha, she had kittens, and one of the cats was black. And it looked like Sylvester.
Oh no, she didn't call it.
Yeah, she called it Blackie. I'm going to call it
No,
Blackie.
she didn't.
And we're like, because we're like, oh, we were thinking we were going to call it Sylvester because, like, when we looked it up, like, it looked like it had the markings of, like, almost, not exact, but very close to, like, a Sylvester cat. Like, you couldn't come up with, if you're going to name it something that's very obvious, that was the name. And then she's like, I'm going to name it Blackie. And I remember I just felt like, you're an idiot. And she was like my age. I remember this girl went to my elementary school. And she was always she was a little weird. But like, it's not even like a full black cat. You crazy kid.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And she took it. I felt bad for that cat because I don't know what happened. It's like you see those movies where the dolls are like alive and they get forced to do like tea parties and stuff. That's what that cat had to go through. Probably.
Who forces dolls to do tea parties?
Like Toy Story and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like those movies where they're like, get me out of here.
Okay, yeah.
Like that. That's what I mean.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. Pets and things and stuff. We're out of time, Kim.
Okay, cool. So if you have any fun pet stories, tell us about your favorite pets. Tell us about your least favorite pets.
Yeah, Jade. This is for you, Jade. I know you have like lizards and stuff.
I know. We've got lots of people who hang out with us and game with us who are really into animals. And I always love, I love when people share pet stories. So please, share your pet stories with us.
Do it. But make sure you don't feed the geese.
Don't feed the geese. Whatever you do.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.